Welcome back. Officials in the city of Keene, New Hampshire will hold a news conference in just a few hours to discuss the violent parties that led to dozens of injuries and arrests at Keene State College. Okay, well, police in riot gear had to use tear gas and rubber bullets to break up the parties and crowds near the 23rd annual Pumpkin Festival Saturday afternoon into Sunday. People flipped over cars, lit fireworks, and set fires in the streets. The school's president says officials are now reviewing videos like the one you're seeing to identify those responsible. Some students could be expelled. Joining me now, Ellerly Murray, a sophomore who witnessed the violence, and Mike Bello, assistant Metro editor at the Boston Globe. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks.
Hi. Ellerly, let's start with you. What happened? I think that's the number one thing people were wondering. How does a pumpkin festival turn into something like that? I know this was near the festival, not actually at the festival, but this is something we've seen, according to reports, over the last couple of years.
Right. It was just like, it got way out of hand this year. It was way more people. Last year it was definitely a different scene. This year there was way more people. People just got way too excited. People had a little too much alcohol in them, and it just turned into mayhem.
I mean, I hear you when you say they got way too excited, but how exciting can a pumpkin festival be that this turns into the scene there? I know that there's alcohol involved, and we're hearing that is a part of the behavior, but I mean, were these fires stoked days in advance? Did you see, folks chatting on Facebook or emails?
No, I had no idea any of this was going to happen. Like, all my friends were very excited for the pumpkin festival itself, and it just, we were not expecting it to turn into this at all. I
mean, and I know you were injured. What kind of injuries did you receive there, sustain?
I had a bottle thrown at my hand so hard that I actually lost consciousness for a little. And a couple cans hit my head pretty hard. It was crazy, but I mean, that doesn't represent the students at our school at all. It was definitely a lot of the visitors who came and just destroyed our school. Like, I love my school. I would never partake in any of these type of riots.
Well, the statement from the college president, Ann Hote, says, "We are actively working to identify the individuals who participated in unlawful behavior, and those who are identified will be held accountable. Keene State College does not tolerate the outrageous behavior that occurred over the weekend. I also understand that it does not represent a great many of the students who attend this college." As you just pointed out, some of these were non-students, but nevertheless, the school is looking at video because they believe there were some students involved in this.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say it was a lot of out-of-staters, people from other schools who came and just didn't care about the consequences. So definitely some of our students were involved, but I would not say that that's how our school is represented at all.
All right, let me bring Mike Bello in. Mike, the other scene I think that caught the eye of some people, again, we're seeing police in riot gear, SWAT-style clothing in a confrontation with what seems unarmed citizens, even though many of them were throwing bottles. And you heard Ellerly say she was injured, severely injured there as well. But we're seeing this confrontation again of heavily armed police facing off with certainly behavior that is destructive and dangerous, but it's caught attention.
Well, the police certainly felt that the situation was getting out of hand, and they had a lot of this equipment at their disposal to use. I think the big question at the press conference today is who was responsible, what do the tapes show? There was some talk that there was a house party in the area in the afternoon that somehow got out of hand, and this may have been one of the things that started the thing, and it kind of spread to other areas of the city. There is talk of outsiders being involved along with students. The question is who started it, and a lot of people were saying the police were restrained. In fact, there could have been more damage, that trying to get people under control. So I think the videotapes will show a lot, but I think the police felt that they had to use some of this equipment in this situation to keep the peace. They're going to defend themselves at the afternoon press conference.
Yeah, absolutely, and we expect them to do so. In recent years, as I pointed out earlier, this festival has attracted these large crowds, Mike, and even as we understand, authorities and hospitals have been placed on high alert to be aware that this kind of thing can happen, where they just caught flat-footed, ill-prepared, and then had to have this extremely strong response, some believe?
I think that's unclear. I think There was a lot of visibility, police visibility during the day. The question is, when things started getting out of hand, obviously the decision was made to bring some reinforcements in. I think, like at UMass last year during the Blarney blowout, police felt they had to respond when situation got out of control, when students were doing stuff. Did they have the right response? All those things are being examined at UMass right now. But I think the question is, did the police do the right thing? Did they give the appropriate response? They're going to answer some of those questions today. But also the question is, a lot of citizens came forward and said they felt the police did the right thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see what the response is. There were more than 40 arrests, and I think police responded to 230 calls for help during a 24-hour period during that time period.
That's incredible. All right. Thank you very much, Mike. Greatly appreciate it. Ellery, we wish you the best, and I know your parents and family just have to be mortified at what happened there, but we're happy you're okay, and
Thank you.
enjoy the rest of the school year. Take